Okay, very good morning, class. Now, one person, please take the headlines. Voluntary, please. Voluntary. Anybody?
Air passengers traffic expected to increase 42% in June, ICRA. Post-COVID growth capacity may have fallen by 50 basis points. Sumitomo Mitsui to
क्या
buy.
तुम्हारी आवाज क्लियर नहीं हो रही है?
आवाज नहीं आ रही है सर?
नहीं, आवाज क्लियर नहीं है. म्यूट कीजिए, म्यूट कीजिए, म्यूट कीजिए. ओके. मोनू कुमार, मोनू कुमार, मोनू कुमार. ओके, 83 BCA, 83 BCA, 12754.
Yes, sir.
पढ़िए.
Sumitomo Mitsui to buy a 74.9% stake in FICC for $2 billion. Bank wary of delay in a future funding plan. Pine Labs closes latest fund rise at $600 million. Jaguar Land Rover sees chip shortage dent output profit this fiscal year. June GST revenue below 1 lakh crore as second economy. Wave slap economy. GST collection fell below 1 lakh crore after 8 months but rose 2% YOY.
Okay, just
Tata
hold.
Motors drops nearly 10% over shortage of सर स्क्रीन हट गया.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Tata Motors dropped nearly 10% over shortage of semiconductors. Sensex falls 19.2 to close at 52,861. Nifty slumps 16.2 to 15. Zomato IPO accepted soon. Here's what you need to know.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, next person. Okay, Jita, thank you. 77, Suman. 77, Suman.
Yes, sir.
Please do the next.
DOT for 10,000 rupees fine on every call. SMS by pesky callers after 50 violations. NMDC share price falls 2% over government's proposal. Sir, screen share हट गया.
Okay, Suman, please continue. Sorry.
NMDC share price falls 2% over government's proposal to sell stake via OFS. Gold prices today rise to two-week high at around 47,400 rupees per 10 gram. Indian spot gold rate and silver price on Tuesday, June 6, 2021. Paytm to file papers for $2.3 billion IPO next week. फिर स्वाइप करना.
Wait. Fine.
Zomato eyes jump in value to $10 billion. Deadline for suggestions on draft e-commerce rules extended till July 21. Nandan Nilikani to join ONDC will advise on preventing digital ITR filing. All you need to know about claiming deductions for COVID-19. Gold price rises in India following global cues.
Okay. Please continue.
Markets closed day on high note. BSE rise 395 points and at 52,880. FCL shares zoom nearly to 20%. ED arrests Shakti Bhog Foods CMD in money laundering case. Petrol jumps 35 paise per liter, but diesel price remains unchanged. Indian spot gold rate at silver price on Monday, June 5, 2021.
सर ये सारा न्यूज हो गया है कल ही।
ओके ठीक है, ऐसे ही पढ़ा रहे हैं। कंप्लीट करिए सुमन।
Sensex jumps to 211.04 points to 52,695 in opening session. Nifty. Jeff Bezos to step down as Amazon CEO today. How rich the businessman? 3 decades to reforms. Cup is only half full.
Okay, ठीक है, thank you.
Thank you.
Now you can see few students have come in the class. Now they will get the chance. Okay. This one, Jaguar Land Rover. Now who will read? Okay. Take. Your good name. Come on, sit over. आगे बढ़ो। Luxury car maker Jaguar Land Rover.
Luxury car maker Jaguar Land Rover Automotive PLC issued a profit warning on Tuesday, citing the impact of semiconductors chip shortage on vehicle production, sending shares of its parent Tata Motors Limited as low as 10%. The British car maker, which saw sales reviving over the last 6 months, said it will report a negative operating margin and operating cash outflow of $1 million this quarter. The company said it expects the supply of semiconductor-based parts to improve the fiscal second half. Though the problem will continue to impact vehicle production for the next year and a half until suppliers boost output. Tata Motors shares recouped some of the losses later in the day, closing 8.14% lower on the BSE, while the benchmark Sensex remained unchanged. हो गया sir. The company had about $3.7 billion of cash and short-term investments, unaudited. Based on this and broadly in line with expectation given the supply constraint, the company expects to report a cash outflow of about $1 billion.
The voice is clear. The voice is clear. Hello, class.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Pine Labs. Let's talk about something. Pine Labs. 600 million. Raise fund. Okay. You read. Loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Digital payment service provider Pine Labs raised $315 million in capital as part of its ongoing fundraise and closed its current funding round at $600 million. The company said on Tuesday. A slew of people, market investors, including Fidelity Management and Research Co. BlackRock, Ishana, Treeline, a fund advised by Neuberger Berman Investment Advisors LLC, along with IIFL Assets Management Limited, through its late stage tech fund, have joined the company's growing cap table. The latest transaction value Pine Labs at $3.3 billion. The funding comes a month after the startup announced that it raised $285 million in primary and secondary equity sales from public market investors, including Baron Capital Group, Duro Capital, Marshall Wade, more strategic ventures and strategic ventures and Ward Ferry Management. With this fundraise, the company is looking to list in the US markets in the next 18 months. Over the last year, Pine Labs has made significant progress in its offline to online strategy in India and the direct to consumers play in Southeast Asia. Our full stack approach to payment and merchant commerce has allowed us to grow merchant partnership by nearly 100% over the last year. We are excited to bring on board a marquee set of new investors in this round and appreciate the confidence they have placed on the Pine Labs business model and our growth momentum. Said B. Amrish Rao, Chief Executive Officer, Pine Labs. Mint first reported that the firm was in an additional tranche as a part of the current fundraise was setting sights for a global listening in Mumbai. In a May 25 interview, Rao said the company's ambition remains to be the first Indian fintech to list in offshore markets. We don't want Pine Labs to be an Indian-centric story alone. Pine Labs listening internationally will not only to be a good story for the global market, but we all acquire wells for the larger frontage. Sir, it's wrong.
Okay. ठीक है, finish. तुम last. आवाज क्लियर आ रही है? आवाज क्लियर आ रही है?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
इससे बैठो बाबू, इससे बैठो. In May 25.
In May 25 interview, Rao said,
पहले इतना से एकदम रिलैक्स, पहले एकदम रिलैक्स, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, एकदम रिलैक्स, आराम से बैठ जाओ.
yes sir,
कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं,
no sir,
इत्मीनान से पढ़ना. क्लियर है?
yes sir. In May 25 interview, Rao said the company's ambition remains to be the first Indian fintech to list in offshore markets. We don't want Pine Labs to be an
एकदम रिलैक्स, ठीक है ना?
Yes,
पहला
sir.
दिन होता है,
yes sir,
एकदम रिलैक्स, क्लासरूम नहीं है,
yes sir,
ऐसी आए, सब कुछ पढ़ लेते.
okay sir. We don't want Pine Labs to be an India-centric story alone. Pine Labs listening internationally will not only be a good story for the global markets, but will also augur well for the larger fintech ecosystem back in India. Rao said, the company is eyeing additional fundraising by the end of the year as it looks to expand into West Asia next year. The company, which announced the acquisition of Loyalty Startup 5 in April, continues to scout for a new acquisition for its merchant business. The FAB acquisition allowed Pine Labs to enter the consumer payment segment as it looks to offer unfined payments interface, UPI-based payments, and cashback to Indian customers through FAB. Pine Labs is also strengthening its play. Yes, strengthening its play in Southeast Asian markets. Pine Labs has rapidly transformed from a single product company, allowing retail acceptance of payments to a broader payments platform. The firm also has the market leading pay later offering with about $3 billion in annualized pay later transactions. Silendra Singh, MD of Sequoia Capital, said.
आज जो लोग क्लास में आए हैं उनको पहले मौका मिलेगा, क्लियर है? एग्रीमेंट क्लियर है?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
और आई थिंक कि क्लास में हमको ज्यादा कंफर्टेबल लग रहा है क्योंकि स्क्रीन पे तो दिख रहा होगा ना, स्क्रीन पे दिख रहे हैं कौन कौन आगे पढ़ रहे
Yes,
हैं?
sir.
नहीं सर, वो नहीं
No,
दिख
sir,
रहा है।
वो नहीं दिख रहा है।
दिख रहा है।
हाँ?
दिख रहा है सर, दिख रहा है।
ओके फाइन। नाउ ओवर टू, नाम बताओ अपना। ओवर टू
अच्छा, हाँ सर जी।
नेक्स्ट न्यूज़, वेट, लेट्स गो टू एयर पैसेंजर ट्रैफिक। एकदम रिलैक्स सौम्या, ठीक है, लाउड एंड क्लियर, एकदम रिलैक्स। इतना से बैठो, अब पढ़ो। डोमेस्टिक एयर पैसेंजर ट्रैफिक।
Domestic air passenger traffic is expected to grow about 42% sequentially during June. Sequentially during June compared to the previous month due to a decline in the fresh number of COVID-19 infections across the country. Rating agency ICICI said in a statement on Tuesday. According to the agency, domestic passenger traffic is estimated at about 29 to 30 lakh, implying a sequential growth of about 41 to 40% during June, compared to about 19.8 lakh in May 2021. Airlines deployed about 46% higher capacity in June on an annual basis, with about 31,700 departures in June 2021 against 21,696 departures in June 220.
मेरी आवाज आ रही है? हेलो क्लास, मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
यस सर।
Yes, sir.
आ रही है। फाइन। पिछले क्लास में 10 अनिकेत उसने डेटा लिखवाया था, ठीक है, और उसके बाद हमने फैसला लिया था कि किधर करियर प्लान करना है, राइट?
यस सर।
ठीक है, अब जो भी लिखने की शैली है, द राइटिंग पैटर्न, इसको न्यूज़पेपर आर्टिकल से समझना होगा। पूरा डेटा लिखा हुआ है, हर 2 लाइन के बाद डेटा है। अब जाके बात साबित, हमको बात साबित करना, क्वेश्चन आया एग्जाम में, आंसर में साबित करना, क्लियर? जब तक पूरा डेटा नहीं लिखेगा और साल नहीं लिखेगा, कुछ इस तरह की बात नहीं होगी, बात साबित नहीं होगी। ये है लिखने का शैली, क्लियर? ओके फाइन, कंटिन्यू।
On a sequential basis, the number of departures in June 2021 were higher by about 14 to 15% as COVID-19 infection demonstrated a downward trajectory, ICRA added. Thank you, sir.
Post-COVID growth 50 points. ये फॉर्मेट कंफर्टेबल है हम लोग? कंफर्टेबल है हम लोग? गुड नेम, तुम्हारा नाम बोलो। बैड पहले ईयरफोन लगा लो, ठीक है, इत्मीनान से, कॉन्फिडेंटली, ठीक है, गलती करोगे कोई नहीं हंसेगा, जानते हो क्यों? हम बैठे हैं, क्लियर है? इत्मीनान से पढ़ो साथ साथ, ठीक है, जोर से पढ़ना है, जोर से।
India's potential growth में
थोड़ा पीछे होकर बैठो, पहले रिलैक्स हो, अभी थोड़ा एकदम रिलैक्स, एकदम रिलैक्स,
जी
कोई दिक्कत नहीं बैठने में।
नहीं सर।
अभी फिर तो एडजस्ट कर लो, अब एकदम रिलैक्स हो।
जी
अब
India's potential growth may have dipped because of dipped because of the coronavirus pandemic, rammed growing inequality and structural inequality and structural inefficiencies such as a weak financial system, according to rating agencies S&P and Moody's. The
अच्छा, S&P जो है, मेरी आवाज आ रही है क्लास?
yes sir.
और आपका मूडीज है, ये दो फर्म है जो क्रेडिट रेटिंग है। ये कंपनी है जो सबको मूल्यांकन करती है। इसका और भी आर्टिकल को आप लोग पढ़िएगा, ठीक है? S&P को और भी इसका वेबसाइट चेक कीजिएगा, वेबसाइट, ठीक है? एंड मूडीज का, ठीक है? आगे बढ़िए।
The potential growth of a country is the maximum output growth that an economy can sustain over the medium to long run without stopping inflation. The pandemic will not derail.
डिजिटल मार्केटिंग बहुत हो रहा है, इसको सीखना होगा।
Will
डिजिटल मार्केटिंग इररेस्पेक्टिव ऑफ BBA BCA। पढ़िए।
will not trail India's medium run growth, but the costs associated with it reduce this growth by about 50 basis point annually, according to Vishot Rana, economist at S&P Global Rating.
एक मिनट रुको, वाह, इसको निकालो इधर को, उसको एडजस्ट को सही उलझ गया, सुझाव उसको उलझ गया, सुनिए सुनिए, अब लगाओ, ठीक है? और इसको ऐसे कर देता हूँ, इसको पकड़ लो।
There are some medium-term costs associated with deep economic downturn, such as the one caused by the pandemic. Balance sheets in the economic are scared. Households have dipped into their savings. Firms have closed down or taken on debt, and public sector balance sheets have weakened as a result. Cover the medium run. Some resources that could otherwise contribute towards growth will be diverted into balance sheet repair, he said.
Relax.
India's real gross domestic. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Comfortable?
Yes, sir.
Now start.
India's real gross domestic product growth. India's real gross domestic products growth is likely to average around 6% over the long term, said William Foster, Vice President Sovereign Risk like at Moody's Investors Service. The pandemic will leave new economic scars and deepen pre-pandemic constraints.
Constraints का मतलब बाधा।
Constraints. Our growth.
पैंडेमिक की वजह से बहुत सारा प्रॉब्लम आएगा, बाधा है, ठीक है? ये बीमारी एक स्कार लिखा हुआ है, स्कार का मतलब चेहरे पे दाग लग जाता है सब।
Yes, sir.
तो ये चीज दाग देके जाएगा।
Yes.
उसको ओवरकम कर, तो होगा ये। अब उसको ओवरकम कर, क्लियर?
Our growth forecast indicate a shortfall in GDP compared with our pre-pandemic expectation of more than 10% in the fiscal year ending in the March 2024. Structural inferences continue to constrain growth potential and limit resilience to stock. Resilience to stock. Yes, sir. If implemented effectively, government reform target these challenges would be credit positive foster
एक मिनट वहाँ फिर से पढ़ो तो रेजिलियंस लिखा हुआ है, ठीक है?
Resi-
जो सेकंड पैराग्राफ है
yes,
उसको पढ़ो. The pandemic will leave new economic scars.
the pandemic
हाँ, सेकंड पैराग्राफ, सेकंड. The pandemic will leave.
the pandemic will leave new economic scars and deepen pre-pandemic constraints. Our growth forecast indicate a shortfall in GDP compared with our pre-pandemic expectation of more than 10% in the facial our physical
No, no. Fiscal.
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 fiscal fiscal year ending in March 2024 structural
Inefficiency.
inefficiencies
Inefficiency मतलब कि नाकामी.
inefficiency continue to constrain growth potential and limit resilience to stocks if shocks if implement if
Voice is breaking, sir.
आवाज नहीं आ रहा है.
Not audible, sir.
effectively contracting by 8% in FY21. FY21, the economic was initially expected to grow at double digit in FY22.
हाँ.
However, with second wave taking a heavy toll on consumer confidence, more forecasters have slashed their growth estimates to single digits.
न्यूज़ रूम में जैसे पढ़ते हैं ना वो ऐसी सामने सुन पाता है और पढ़ते हैं इस तरह पढ़ते हैं कि लग रहा है कि हम देख नहीं रहा हूँ कैमरे को देख. ठीक है.
Yes, thank you.
My friend. GDP के बारे में बात करते हैं. ग्रॉस डोमेस्टिक प्रोडक्ट. पहले आप इधर बैठो, एकदम इत्मीनान से रिलैक्स. ठीक है?
Yes.
कॉन्फिडेंटली. आवाज बुलंद. ऐसा करके आओ ना.
Yes.
देखा हुआ है. पक्का. आवाज ठीक है.
The economics survey for FY21 said the growth rate is likely to be 6.5% in FY23 and 7% in FY24. Added by
सर आवाज नहीं आ रही.
a weak financial system and rising inequality could drag down post-pandemic potential growth by 1 percentage point to 5%. Yes, sir.
पहले रिलैक्स. दिक्कत हो रहा है? कोई दिक्कत, कोई परेशानी, कोई पीछे से मार रहा है, कोई डर?
No.
तो आवाज क्यों नहीं निकल रही थी? पहला दिन समझ गए. मानो ना पहला दिन नहीं है वो, तो तुम्हारा क्लास तो कर ही रहे हो, हमको देख ही रहे हो. ठीक है ना? थोड़ा और
Bhandari, chief India economist at HSBC, said in May, we worry that these scares may depend further with the second wave. However, it is possible for potential growth to go up over time with carefully policy steps. Beyond that, we see 4 key policy steps for government focus, strengthening strengthening the insolvency and bankruptcy code sustaining social welfare spending, getting uh, design investment done urgently, and choosing export promotion over import import sub-
Import substitution.
substitution days we think can help some of the scares, she said. Uh, the scars, she said.
थोड़ा कॉन्फिडेंस लो, ठीक है, बैठ जाओ पहले, कोई परेशानी कोई दिक्कत, ठीक है ना, नाश्ता करके आओ, दिखाओ तो कैसा नाश्ता कर।
Sir. Fitch Ratings, while affirming India's lowest investment grade with negative outlook in April, said it expects the country potential growth to remain robust relative to peers at around 6.5%. The government remains reform-minded, evidenced by the passing of agriculture and labor market reforms in the November. These reforms could drive growth if implementation risks are addressed, it said. Okay, sir.
अब थोड़ा कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग ना, कुछ क्रिकेट ले लेते हैं और थोड़ा। ओ हैप्पी बर्थडे मिस धोनी।
Former Indian captain Mahendra Singh Dhoni, during his captaincy season, led the Indian team. Led the Indian team to 3 ICC title wins. Under his captaincy, India went on the win 2007 T20 World Cup, the 2011 ODI World Cup, and the 2013 Championship Trophy. Dhoni was known for making some of the boldest decisions that someone how plays led this team winning the match. Questions were always asked if the captain cool MSD ever feels the pressure on his 14th birthday. Here is look back at the 40th birthday. Yes.
40 means he is 2 years younger than me. मुझे 2 साल छोटा है।
Yes, sir. Here is a look back at 5 moments from MS Dhoni careers that became a testament to his captaincy. India versus Pakistan 2020 T20 World Cup final. The final of the inaugural T20 World Cup in 2007 saw a big moment when MS Dhoni gave the final over to Joginder Sharma instead of veteran Harbhajan Singh. The off spinner had been hit for the 3 sixes by Misbullah Haq, and despite one wicket in hand, Misbah was still in the middle and could have won the game for Pakistan. Joginder started off and then he bowled a dot. Misbah hit the second fair delivery over the for a straight 6. On the next ball, Misbah went to the paddle shot over short fine leg, but ended up hitting the ball into the hands of Seshant. India won the match. Second. 2008 tri-series against Australia and Sri Lanka. In 2008, MS Dhoni, ahead of the away tri-series against Australia and Sri Lanka, made the call to drop 2 former captains, Saurav Ganguly and Rahul Dravid, from the Indian team. The decision, as per the reports, was taken to put the emphasis on fielding. It brought to a change in culture in the Indian team setup, with fitness being a key criterion today to make a team. Not forget their first ever tri-series win in Australia. India versus Sri Lanka 2011 World Cup final.
Third one.
In the 2011 World Cup final, Dhoni made the unforgettable call to promote him up the batting order at number 4 ahead of Yuvraj Singh, who was in the form of his life. Dhoni came on the bat and scored an unbeatable 91 to help India win the match by 6 wickets. His match-winning 6 of Sri Lanka's speedster Nuwan Kulasekara is still etched in the minds of millions of Indian cricket fans. 2012 CB tri-series versus Australia and Sri Lanka. In the 2012 series against Sri Lanka and Australia, MS Dhoni made a decision to rotate in the trio of Sachin Tendulkar, Virender Sehwag and Gautam Gambhir in the order to play better fielders in the team. The decision was criticized by the fan as the trio had an indispensable record for India. India ended up not qualifying for the final, but the poor show from the openers did not out that the India needed to win overall at the top of the order.
Great. ठीक है, अब बातों में. Very good, very good. Come. पहले इत्मीनान से बैठ जाओ. ठीक है, एडजस्ट कर लें. इसमें देखो इधर इधर एडजस्ट करो. पूरा चेहरा आ रहा है तुम्हारा, है ना? उधर उधर उधर. ये कौन सा है? ठीक है, ये वाला 2012 सीमिट प्राइस सीरीज. उल्टा लगा लिया.
In the 2012 series against Sri Lanka and Australia, MS Dhoni made a decision to rotate decided to rotate the trio of Sachin Tendulkar, Virender Sehwag, and Gautam Gambhir in order to play better fielders in the team. The decision was criticized by the fans as the trio had as impossible record for India. India ended up not qualifying for the final, but the poor show from the openers did point out that India needed an overhaul at the top of the order. In 2013, MS Dhoni decided to promote Rohit Sharma at the top of the batting order. Rohit had been struggling to find consistency for India, but getting the opening slot made a world of difference.
थोड़ा प्रैक्टिस करना, क्योंकि तुम्हारे को ये एक शॉट में ना दो. थोड़ा प्रैक्टिस करो. कितना घंटा? 2 घंटे से क्या होगा? 4 घंटा. आज क्लियर कर ही लेना. आज घबराओ नहीं. तो पहली बार आ रहे हो, लग रहा है एकदम टीचर ऐसा सामने बैठ गए. कॉलेज में ऐसे ही होता है. एकदम रिलैक्स पीछे होकर बैठो. ठीक है, आज घर जाकर के पूरा प्रैक्टिस ताकि कल एकदम सॉलिड परफॉर्मेंस देना. जैसे धोनी दिया. ठीक है ना? चलो.
Difference to him in the 2013 Champions Trophy, Dhoni fought Shikhar Dhawan along with Rohit as the openers for India, and the two wreaked havoc in the tournament in England, with both openers performing for the team. India went on to lift the 2013 Champions Trophy.
एकदम रिलैक्स रहो. ठीक है, एकदम रिलैक्स, लेकिन कमी को दूर करना है.
BCA. Indian batsman Surya Kumar Yadav is preparing to face Sri Lanka in the upcoming limited overs. Like most of the players in the squad, the Mumbai cricketer is also excited to play under the guidance of Rahul Dravid, who has been appointed the head coach of the new face Indian team. India and Sri Lanka will lock horns in 3 ODIs and 3 T20s, which begins from July 13. Diwar sir. Yes. Opener Shikhar Dhawan will lead. Opener Shikhar Dhawan कहाँ गया? Opener Shikhar Dhawan will lead the bench of youngsters, while pacer Bhuvneshwar Kumar has been named 50. Okay. While addressing a virtual press on Tuesday, Shikhar Dhawan hailed the Dravid Surya Kumar hailed Dravid calm and composed devotees and expressed his willingness to learn new things from the former Indian captain. It is a great opportunity for everyone to have a tour amidst this stadium. It is a greater challenge and responsibility for everyone to come out here and express themselves, said Surya during a virtual press conference. Great thing is having Rahul sir around. We have heard lots about him. This is my first tour with him, but I have heard from many players that Rahul sir is very calm and composed when it comes to this role. I am very excited and looking forward to it, he added. Surya Kumar went off to phenomenal start in international cricket. He had set the T20 stage on fire after scoring half century in the second T20 against England. Earlier this year, ahead of Sri Lankan challenge, the right-handed batsman said he would be starting from level zero. He would be starting from level zero.
चलिए, हेलो क्लास. आज it was altogether a very different show. ठीक है.